All right, this video is going to be about mapping the lights to LightKey. I'm going to kind of show you how to add a new macro in case we needed to do that. LightKey is already connected and mapped as a macro for us, so that's not necessary, so I'm not going to add that to this video. But over here under macros, where we have the brackets with an M in it, we click on that. So if it's on anywhere else, say the audio pads or whatever, go over to there. Macros, you hit the plus, name it whatever you feel like. In this case, I'm just going to do trial. Now you right click on it, add an action. Let me find it real quick. Then under communication, LightKey, MIDI note on. And so now we change the note that we're going to do. One thing to note is that you need an intensity of at least 1. So just you would change the intensity to 1. And then the weird thing about this is it's only on notes. In the case of these macros, how I have them in order, we have C for praise and worship, C sharp for front sermon lights on, and we go down the line. So then it's D sharp for sermon lights off, E for video lights on, F for video lights off, and so the next one would then be F sharp. It'd be number 6. So then we do it like that. And now you have the ability to map that trial. I deleted the mapping for praise and worship lights already, so we're just going to delete that trial, but that is how you add a new macro. In the case of mapping it, we know praise and worship lights are C. That's number 1. It's the very top one, so that's how we're doing that. So we go over to LightKey. Under praise and worship, we're going to right-click, external control, add trigger. Now it's waiting for a trigger. So what we got to do over here is come back to ProPresenter and click on Praise and Worship Lights. Now we see that it connects to channel 1C2. Great. So now we need to come over here and we need to set it to only turn on. Because now anytime we use this Praise and Worship cue, it will turn it on or turn it off. We don't want that. What we want is to have it only turn on, doesn't matter how many times it's clicked. So at the top left of LightKey over here, it says Show External Control Window. So we're going to open that up. Now, it's already under MIDI and LightKey input. That's what we want. We're going to click on Channel 1C2. Now, what we see right here is it's a trigger button, commands and notes on or off. Behavior is toggle, and our action is activate, deactivate cue. So we need that to be on activate, deactivate, but toggle is just activate. Activate only means it'll turn it on. So that's how we set the behavior for turning praise and worship lights on. On the case of we want, say, front sermon lights off, or front sermon lights on as mapped to C sharp, because that's the next one, so we see it's on activate. If we want them off, mapping it to D for sermon, we see the behavior is deactivate. And so anytime the front sermon lights off cue is clicked, it will deactivate or turn off the lights. Anytime front sermon lights on are clicked, it will activate the cue or turn on the lights. And that's how we map it, so it will only turn it on or only turn it off. We don't necessarily need to do mapping too often, but anytime that LightKey gets an update, the mapping needs to be redone.